In this video, we will break down one of the central theorems of differential geometry, the Local Gauss Bonnet Theorem. On a curved surface, a geodesic triangle, generally speaking, no longer behaves like an ordinary triangle on a plane. The sum of its angles can be greater or less than 180 degrees. The difference between the sum of the triangle's angles and pi is called the angular excess. It turns out the angular excess has a profound geometric meaning. It measures not just the deviation from Euclidean geometry, but the total curvature accumulated inside the triangle. If the curvature is constant, everything looks simple. The angular excess is equal to the curvature multiplied by the area. But on an arbitrary surface, the curvature can change from point to point. Therefore, the contribution of each small region will be unique. This is exactly the generalization provided by the Local Gauss Bonnet Theorem. Let's now examine this in greater detail. Let's understand why the angular excess possesses the property of additivity. Consider a geodesic triangle delta on a curved surface. Let's denote its angles as alpha, beta, and gamma. We will draw a geodesic segment inside it, which will divide the original triangle into two smaller triangles, delta 1 and delta 2. The first triangle has angles equal to alpha, beta 1, and gamma 1, while the second has alpha 2, beta, and gamma 2. Pay attention to the point where the internal segment intersects the side of the original triangle. Here, angles beta 1 and alpha 2 form a straight angle, so their sum is equal to pi. Now, let's write down the angular excesses for triangles delta 1 and delta 2 and add them together. After grouping the terms, the expression beta 1 plus alpha 2 appears, which can be replaced by pi. As a result, one of the pi terms cancels out, leaving alpha plus, beta plus, gamma 1 plus gamma 2 minus pi. But angles gamma 1 and gamma 2 together form the original angle gamma. From this it follows that alpha plus beta plus gamma minus pi exactly coincides with the angular excess of the original triangle delta. Thus, the angular excess of the large triangle is equal to the sum of the angular excesses of its parts. E of delta equals E of delta 1 plus E of delta 2. It is precisely this property of additivity that allows us to break the surface down into smaller and smaller regions and sum their contributions to the total curvature. Let's define Gaussian curvature. Let's choose a point P on the surface, for example, on a torus. Around this point, we will construct a small geodesic triangle and gradually decrease its size, shrinking it closer and closer to the point P. As the triangle shrinks, its area approaches 0. However, the ratio of the angular excess to the area tends toward a well-defined limit. This limit is what we call the Gaussian curvature at point P. In other words, Gaussian curvature shows how much angular excess is distributed per unit of area in an infinitely small neighborhood of this given point. Now we are ready to formulate the local Gauss Bonnet theorem. We have shown that the angular axis possesses the property of additivity, that is, the angular axis of a large triangle is equal to the sum of the angular axes of its parts. Furthermore, the Gaussian curvature at each point shows the amount of angular excess distributed per unit area in an infinitely small neighborhood of this point. Therefore, if we divide the geodesic triangle into a multitude of infinitely small elements and sum their contributions, then in the limit, this sum turns into an integral over the entire region. As a result, we obtain the local Gauss-Bonnet theorem. Here, E of delta denotes the angular excess of the geodesic triangle, delta. The expression alpha plus beta plus gamma minus pi shows how much the sum of the triangle's angles differs from the value of pi, which we expect in Euclidean geometry. The integral represents the total Gaussian curvature enclosed inside the triangle delta. Thus, the local Gauss-Bonnet theorem states that the angular axis of a geodesic triangle is exactly equal to the total curvature of the surface enclosed inside it.